Many of you are familiar with Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, there were over 100 Black business districts throughout the United States, one of which was perhaps the most wealthy and the biggest was in Durham, North Carolina. In the early 20th century, Parrish Street in Durham, North Carolina was the hub of African American business activity. This four-block district was also known as Black Wall Street. Although other cities had similar districts, Durham's was one of the most vital and was nationally known. Parrish Street bordered the Haiti community, Durham's main African American residential district, and the two districts together served as the center of Black life in Durham. Elsewhere in North Carolina, in the depths of the Jim Crow era, race relations were as bad as they ever had been, but Durham's Black business district thrived. In 1906, the North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company, the nation's largest Black-owned insurance company, moved its headquarters to Parrish Street. It was soon joined by the mechanics of Farmers Bank, and the founder of the North Carolina Mutual also invested in real estate and textiles. National leaders W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington both visited the city in 1912 and 1910 respectively and praised Black entrepreneurship.
During a time period when disenfranchising Blacks and openly violating their rights was common, the Black populations of Durham were making strides in business that challenged the legitimacy of white supremacy. Black-owned business in Durham can be traced back to the efforts of two African-American entrepreneurs, John Merrick and Charles Spaulding. This district was able to increase African-American wealth. The region also promoted basic social reconstruction for Blacks. The southern United States were left in tumult in the few decades of Reconstruction following the Civil War. During the late 1800s, most of these southern regions were rebuilding infrastructure damaged by war. Racial tensions were at an all-time high due to the recent emancipation of all Black slaves and the new economic and social competition they represented in many of their white eyes. But though these African Americans had been freed, their quality of life saw little improvement. Estimates from government officials say almost 85% of Blacks were living below the poverty line during the late 1800s. Automatically placed at the bottom of the social ladder, Blacks were denied virtually all rights afforded to whites. The emergence of John Merrick changed the identity of Black businessmen. Merrick was able to reach prominence in his community through his long-standing friendship with Washington Duke. Originally a barber by profession, Merrick gained enough money through the income and loans to open North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance, which was later expanded with the efforts of Charles Spaulding. John Henry Merrick, insurance agent, entrepreneur, business owner,